Hey everybody, it's Electra. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm a 44-year-old, recently transitioning male to female, recently diagnosed autistic, pretty long time depressive disorder with anxiety and provisional ADHD with bipolar 2. So, I like this background I have right now. It's sun's going down here in St. Louis. It was a pretty mild day, I think like upper 40s. Some rain coming in, it's cloudy before it gets Arctic cold on, I don't know, I think Sunday. It's been an interesting day, I guess. Well, I don't know, not really. I don't know why I said that, but I was thinking about that map that I talked about a couple of videos ago about Los Angeles and that hand-drawn map, and I found it last night in my travel container. Well, I don't know if it's a container. It's like a plastic bin full of stuff that I have accrued during travels, like from basically my whole life. I have like little souvenir photo books, you know, that you used to be able to buy in souvenir stores. I have like 3 or 4 of Niagara Falls from all my summer trips up there to see my grandparents. Yeah, and I got like a little collection of Las Vegas keepsakes, like going back to 1993, which was my first time there. I have a stash of old room keys from Caesar's Palace, Vienna, the MGM Grand, which was brand new. Like, I think we stayed there in March '94. That was the brand new MGM Grand, now 30 years old, and I still have the room key from that with a little map, and you know, of course, it's completely different now, so it's like truly a collector's item. I also found a map of Six Flags over Texas, which for some reason it popped in my head a few days ago that Six Flags, like, you know, Six Flags over Texas was the first Six Flags, and of course now they're national. They've bought up all kinds of theme parks and amusement parks that were around in various parts of the country. But originally it was just the one in Arlington, Texas, right between Dallas and Fort Worth. And I remember as a kid, like, there actually were Six Flags outside the theme park at the entrance, and one of them was the Confederate flag. And I was just thinking how that obviously that would never happen now. And it wasn't the battle flag, it was the more government flag. They call, you know, the one that was called Stars and Bars, you know, which is not the battle flag. The battle flag is the one with the X, the blue X against the red background that everyone thinks that's the Confederate flag, but it's not. It's really, I mean, it kind of is, but that wasn't used by the actual government, I guess. At the national capital in Richmond, that probably wasn't up there. But yeah, they used to have a theme zone. Like, they had a theme area, kind of like how Disneyland or Disney World, Magic Kingdom, has themed areas like Main Street USA and Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Adventureland. This Six Flags over Texas, so back in the 90s, had different themed areas for each flag that they flew, which I didn't explain this, but Texas has basically been in a part of 6 different nations, and that's the logic between those 6 flags. So I think the first one was Spain. It was a Spanish colony. Might have been French. I think one of the flags was France. And then Mexico, Texas as its own independent country for a while, the United States, and the Confederacy. Yeah, so, you know, the Confederacy was an individual country, you know, during the Civil War. They tried to be, and well, all that to say, I found this old Six Flags guidebook, you know, that they would give you for free when you would visit parks back in the old days. Not sure if they still do. Probably not. It's probably all online now. Yeah, and I was able to look at the so-called Confederate themed area. It was kind of combined with the French area, which I guess kind of makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of just bizarre. I mean, it was like that as recently as the early 90s, probably the mid 90s or so is probably when it was phased out. But anyway, let me get this map of Los Angeles. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is it. This is that hand-drawn map I talked about just a couple of videos ago. This I purchased, or my parents probably purchased for me in Hollywood, California. Pretty sure it was at one of those souvenir stores on like Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard. And this was like one of my favorite things to look at and study back when I was like, this is early 90s, so probably like, I got this in probably 1990. It had to be 1990 as a matter of fact, as I established. But yeah, back in 90, 91, 92, 93, like I would just study this. Like, look at that. And it's like all hand drawn. It's like really, really just a beautiful thing. Like, it's hard to believe that this is hand drawn by like professional artists. There's the mountains in Mount Wilson, downtown. Pacific Palisades is going to be basically right around there. There's the Getty Center. That was near the fires. Yeah. It's all reversed, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Anyway, and then on the back, you even had this nice little like detailed view of downtown Los Angeles. And so these maps were made by a company called Unique Media. It's copyright 1990/83. So this must be this is like a newer edition of one that came out in 1983 originally. It's printed in Canada. Here's a list of the other places they have. New York City, Greater Los Angeles, which is this one. Downtown Los Angeles is the one we just saw on the back. San Diego, I do not have that one. San Francisco, I don't have the city of San Francisco, but I do have one of the Bay Area. Like, I actually have a whole collection of these, which I'll show probably on here sometime. San Antonio, Texas, I don't have that one. Pittsburgh, I don't have that one. And then there's for Canada, there's downtown Toronto, metropolitan Toronto and region, city of North York in Canada. I can tell you right now, these are not all of them because I have several that are not on here. I remember seeing these in various souvenir stores or in airports as recently as like probably the late 90s. I have so many of these, then like, it's really crazy these aren't around anymore. Honestly, I feel like I've always liked maps for some reason, but this, I think, is how it really became something I was like, just from like a slight interest to something really like an art form for me. And, so actually this map is how I learned the LA freeway system, like by heart, by the time I was 13. And so it's Friday today, January 17th. Presidential inauguration's coming up in 3 days in Washington, D.C. And went grocery shopping today. Every time I go there, I have the exact same cashier. They have the queue system that started during COVID. They still have it, which is like everyone is in one line and then it feeds into the different cashiers. There's a younger guy named Owen. He's definitely on the spectrum, pretty autistic, definitely more severe than me. You can tell just pretty much right away. So I get him every single time, and I say like, "Hi, Owen," you know, I call him by his name, and so he kind of knows me now, and he, he's kind of been like not sure what pronoun to use for me. Like I used to say, like, you don't have to call me anything; it's okay. You don't have to call me ma'am or sir, you know, or sir or ma'am. You know, of course he wanted to call me sir, and I was at that time still, and but today I went in there with my makeup just like this, and he said something like he, she, so he used both of them, and I just kind of said like, she's fine, I am now she, her. And he said something like about they, them. He said he likes to go by they, them because he likes to think of himself as a reindeer. So I'm like, well, hey, if that's what gets you through the day, who am I to judge? And so that's when I said, I don't mind they, them. I was going by that fairly recently, but I think at this point I'm pretty well figured that I am a she, her. I'm not against they, them. It sometimes might make sense, but you know, that's why I'd probably just say she, they most of the time. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know, not much else to really talk about. I got this nice Mickey t-shirt. It's actually not from Disney, it's from H&M. It was like 15 bucks. Bought it back over the summer. It's really nice. And I've been making a little list of ideas for these videos, and I'll be, there's probably a few I want to get to. I don't think I want to do it today, you know, so I want to try to do this daily. I'd rather do like daily videos that are shorter rather than like one long weekly or, you know, twice a week video that's like 40 minutes or something. So I think this will be it for now. Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment if you like. Please only be nice, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.